Recently, I passed my life insurance exam in the state of Mississippi, and I have applied to get my Mississippi life producer license. And as of the making of this video, I'm still waiting on that to come in. But the thing about it was, I was able to pass the exam without buying a pre-license course, without going to any kind of web class or Zoom or without a mentor. Like, I had no help. And I was able to pass this on the first try, studying for about 9 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did it and show you how you can implement this in your own studying if you're thinking about taking the exam. Now, I will say this is not something that I recommend you do as a first option. And like, this is not something that I want you to use as an excuse to not study properly or not do things you need to do properly. But there is a reason that I did it the way that I did. In the state of Mississippi, as of July of last year, you do not need a pre-license course to take the life insurance exam anymore. So because of that, all I had to do was sign up for the exam. And the good thing about that is, of course, it shortens the time for me to have the idea to get my license to getting the license. It shortens that time span because I don't have to go through the pre-license class. The problem is I do not have the study materials I need to pass this class. So I'm going to show you what I did, how I did it. And again, I don't advise you doing this as a primary option, but you can use this as a study tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over my monitor and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. All right, so we are here in Google Chrome, and what I did was I went to ChatGPT. By now, I'm sure you know what ChatGPT is, so I shouldn't have to explain any of that. But I went to ChatGPT, and that's where most of my actual study material came from. But I'm going to show you what I did to make sure I got the right information, make sure it was accurate. I will show you as we go through this. But I want to show y'all the first prompt that I did. So you don't have to do it the way that I did it. I just like to set up my questions. I just do that. Maybe it's an English major in me, I don't know. But I basically told ChatGPT that I signed up to take this test in 2 weeks. But the problem is I don't have a pre-license course. I don't have any formal training, so I don't know what to do. So I asked it to help me come up with a study plan that will allow me to learn and retain the information on the first try. Now, this is a simple enough prompt, but of course, the problem with this prompt is that ChatGPT doesn't know what I was going to be on this test. Like I said, they can only pull from certain things. So I wanted to show you what the initial prompt was. So this was the initial prompt, and I wanted to show you what the response was. It basically just told me that I need to study for a couple hours a day. And I'm going to revise this in my next thing because the time dropped. So at first it said 19 days, but it's eventually going to drop to 9 because I don't start studying for another week. But we study, it says to study for 4 hours a day, do some daily study sessions, review, and practice exams. And so it pulls up some of the basic information, which some of this is common knowledge no matter what the state is. It brought up the types of insurers, the insurance concepts, contract elements. It's just pulling general information. This information is good, but it is not going to be specific enough for the test I need to take. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. And of course, this is the rest of this answer. And they even encourage me to go to ExamFX or Kaplan. But again, this is a situation to where I didn't want to spend the money. So what I did next, and this is what allowed ChatGPT to allow me to pass this, is every state on the insurance department, they have an outline where you can find the information that's going to be on the test. And so what I did was I went to Google and I searched Mississippi Life Insurance Exam Outline. I just realized y'all cannot see that because my camera's in the way. But Mississippi Life Insurance Exam Outline is what I Googled. And so all you had to do is switch this out with your state. And it should, if you scroll down a little bit, you should either from your insurance department or from Pearson VUE themselves, the testing center, you should be able to click on those. And it's going to pull up a PDF or a PNG, again, depending on state, of everything that's going to be on the test. Now, in my situation, this PDF has every line of insurance. Of course, I only did it for life. So I just took this first page. This entire first page is all just life producer content. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. First page and second page. So this is all content just for the life insurance exam, just life, nothing else. If you scroll down, you'll see accident and health, life accident and health, like the combination ones. But again, I only did life. So I would hit print. I don't know why I do that instead of just saving. I would hit print, save as PDF, custom, and then I would just do 1 and 2. And so that allows me to download this PDF right here. And again, this PDF is showing the types of policies. It's showing the different sections of the test. Not only is it showing the sections of the test, it shows how many questions from each section. So 12 from this, 18 from this, 12 from this, 8 from this. I've seen it in other states. I think Alabama, they show percentages instead. So it may be different by state. But for me, it shows the exact questions and the exact amount of questions. And of course this is updated, however, I think this is from 2021, maybe newer depending on what state you are. But anyway, this outline is what allowed ChatGPT to give me the information I needed. So what I did was I went back to ChatGPT. I uploaded the PDF because again, with ChatGPT now you can upload stuff to it. With the free ChatGPT, you can only do a couple things a day, but that's okay because I only needed one. So I uploaded this one PDF. This one PDF has both of those that I showed you. The one I just downloaded has both of those. So I downloaded that. I told them, like, attached is the outline with the information needed for an exam. I told it to use this to revise that previous study schedule. So make that schedule over. Make it to where it starts today, ends on the 25th, because I had the test schedule for the 29th, I believe. And so make it to where it ends on the 25th and gives me time to go over everything before the test starts. So it gave me a custom schedule again from that. So now it changed it from, instead of 2 to 4, it went from 3 to 4 because I have less time at this point. And so it's saying 3 to 4 flexes needed, learn, review, quiz, and flashcards. Quizlet is a tool now instead of going for exam effort. It says YouTube these, but we don't have to use those because we're not buying the thing. That's the whole point. And so just like before with the previous answer, it talks about the things you should go over each day. So types of insurance policies, part 1, part 2, policy riders, provisions. And I think I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. I think I do update this one more time because I started studying late. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. So now it asks me, after it printed out the plan, it asks me, do I want a checklist, digital tracker, or flashcards? Because ChatGPT can do that now. They can make flashcards, they can make checklists, they can do all that. So I asked it to make those for me. I got those downloaded, but they're not gonna show here because I have the free version of ChatGPT, so it didn't save. But here's the plain text version of it. It just gave me a checklist of everything I need to go over each day to get everything done. Now, here again, this is where it is. Okay, so here I revised the schedule to start on the 18th. So I didn't start studying until the 18th. The test was on the 29th. So I literally only had a couple. Like I said, it was about 11 days. 9 because I gave myself 2 days off. So 9 days from here. And so that's the revised checklist. So this is where it redid the checklist again for me. It made a Google Sheets tracker for me. It made a bunch of flashcards. Again, you're not seeing the flashcard, you're seeing the plain text version of it because I had the free part. So now if we scroll down, this is what ends up being the final schedule right here. So each day it gave me, this is the day, this is type of policy, this is, the next day, the next policy, next day, next policy. And so it gave me from the 19th to the 24th, we go over everything that's needed for this test. And then 25th, we review. And then 26th, we review again, and then I take the test after. So, again, same thing is giving me tips on how to study, resources. That's the study plan and everything. So now, and here's what the kicker is. It gives me everything that I needed to study, or it gives me the study guide, right? So now this is what I do. I asked it to give me a study guide for the 19th's content. And so starting from here, every single day, I'm just asking ChatGPT for the next chapter what I need to study. And so I asked it, for the 19th content. So now it's telling me, all right, what types of policies, 1 and 2, and starts giving me the key features. And now it's giving me information for this exam. And because I uploaded the PDF, it knows exactly what I need to work on. It's showing me annuities, it's showing me term life insurance, showing me the different types, the combination plans, and then it gives me quick practice questions to kind of let me get acclimated to it. I asked it to give it to me in a PDF here, so it makes a PDF that I can download to my phone because I use Notion for all my studying. So if I go into my Notion, I'm gonna pull this over here actually. Let's see, life insurance. So in my Notion, I got all the information here, and this is for every single day. I got all of it here, and all this information is coming from ChatGPT. And so now the study guide, boom, we're going to the next section because we're going to the next day. So I'm not gonna go through the rest of them because that's all I do every day to start. Is I ask it for this day's study guide. It gives me the short version of everything I need. The good thing about ChatGPT is if it gives me something and I don't understand it, I just ask it to explain it to me like a 5-year-old, and that makes it a whole lot easier. But here's the other main thing that I did. Well, there are two more main things. So, after the 20th, I would ask it to give me multiple choice questions after each thing, and so now it's generating practice questions for me to make sure that I understand what I'm looking at. The only problem right here is that as I'm reading the question, I can already see the answer at the bottom because I didn't really specify. So it was giving me the questions, but as I'm reading the questions, I already see the answer. So it didn't really give me a chance to answer it myself. So now, let's see, that's the quiz. Okay. Well, actually, so here's the first thing I did. So the first thing I did was I did a full-length quiz for what we've already studied. And so it started giving me multiple choice questions right here. And this allowed me to kind of go through 20 questions, answer it, and then the answer key is here. But thanks to ChatGPT, I actually go into a better setup here later. So let me scroll down. Again, these are the next few days of study guides. Okay, here we go. So after I finish all the stuff, I start going into reviewing everything as a whole. So this is the prompt that I gave it that made me really get it down. So I told it to ask me some multiple choice questions from the comprehensive material as a whole, do them one at a time, waiting for my answer, and provide explanations for the correct answer. This was a breakthrough, kind of setup for me, because what this did was this turned it into pre-licensing questions pretty much. So it would ask me the question, give me the multiple choice answer, I would have to answer it, and then it would explain it to me, or it would tell me whether I'm right or wrong, and then it would explain it to me. And so I would just do this for days at a time. The only issue with ChatGPT is that with the free version, it'll only give you a few questions a day. Maybe like 5 or 6 questions a day, because you got that PDF at the beginning of this. It only lets you use a few a day. So it took a while to get through this because I can only do like 5 or 6 at a time. Like I say, it would ask me a question, I would answer it. It would tell me whether I'm right, and if I get one wrong, like right here, like I got this one wrong, then it would explain it to me. Not only would it explain it to me, it would give me the source so I can go and look for myself. And so this is what I spent the last 3 days doing after I got the content together. Is I would just continue to ask it for questions, continue to ask it for to give me questions, and if I don't understand the question or if I don't answer the question right, it would explain it to me, and then it would wait and ask me later. And so I believe the last thing that I did here is at the end, I did an exam. Yeah, this is the exam right here. So I had to do me a simulated exam, practice exam. And at the end of the exam, I asked it what I was stronger on, what I was weak on. Yeah, I asked it, how ready do you think I am for this test? And so it straight up told me, all right, well, this is what you're strong at and this is what you're weak at. Look, I choose the right answers in this situation. I choose the wrong answers in this situation. It was telling me that I was doing well with Mississippi specific laws, um, and that I was struggling with some other stuff. And so the morning of the test, I came back, or the night before the test, I came back and asked it to understand my weak points. And so it went and showed me what I was weak at, which in my point was the non-forfeiture options and the dividend options. Luckily for me, there weren't a lot of these on my test and it knows that. But it still made a new test that only addressed my weak points, only addressed the things that I struggle with, the things that I wasn't sure about. And I did another quick quiz on those. And then by the 29th, I felt so much more confident. Like by the time I actually got into the test, I felt really comfortable. Now the problem was when I got into the test, because ChatGPT doesn't know how the questions are formatted. The questions were formatted in a way that I wasn't used to, and it kind of like made me nervous and made me like doubt myself because the questions weren't being asked the way I was used to. Um, and like I think halfway through that test, I felt like, all right, well, I don't think I might have failed this. I don't know. Um, Ended up passing with flying colors because the questions look different, but the material's the same. The material is the same as what ChatGPT has been showing me. And so I think you have 2 hours to take that test. I was done in 25 minutes. And like I said, of course, about 30 minutes later, they sent me the email saying I passed. So like I said, of course, give all credit to ChatGPT. I give all credit to my own resourcefulness. But if you are struggling with the pre-license exam, if you're struggling with the content, if Quizlet isn't doing well enough, I encourage you to find your PDF, put it in ChatGPT, and let ChatGPT help you. Like, thing is, I use ChatGPT for everything. Of course, yeah, some of y'all know I'm a real estate agent. I use ChatGPT for everything. Like, it helps with my weekly emails, my graphics, my strategy. I'll probably use it to help me with my recruiting for insurance and everything. Like, it's just that good to me. It's just that good to me. But yeah, that's how I ended up doing that. That's how I ended up passing the test. And that's how I ended up where I am now. I'm just waiting a couple I's to be dotted, T's to be crossed. Over here at Unitrust, I'm getting set up over there. Great group of people. If you're thinking about getting your insurance license or you already have it and you got somewhere to go, I would love to talk with you about being part of Unitrust. So yeah, holler at me in some of the socials in the comments or just comment down below and I'll holler at you. But I appreciate you guys checking this out. I hope you guys have better luck getting ready for your test. And if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. I'm always available. I'm always helpful. And yeah, like I said, good luck with your test. Good luck. And I hope ChatGPT can help you as much as it helped me. But with that being said, I love you guys. I'll see y'all on the next video.